Zanjeer, the true story of Mumbai's legendary K9. The story you are about to hear is not a myth. It is not a legend spun from fiction, nor a Hollywood script. It is a true account, etched into the history of a sprawling city and the very soul of its people. It is a story about a hero who had no words to speak of his deeds, but whose silent actions roared with a courage that deafened the sound of terror itself. This hero was an elite K9, a protector with 4 paws, a wet nose, and a heart overflowing with a loyalty so profound it would save thousands from a fiery grave. This is the tale of Zanjeer, the legendary K9 soul who guarded Mumbai. In March of 1993, a wave of darkness crashed over Mumbai. A series of 12 coordinated bomb blasts ripped through the heart of the city, a monstrous act of terror that left a trail of death, devastation, and dread. The air, once filled with fragrant spices and vibrant commerce, was now thick with the metallic tang of fear. Mumbai was a city holding its breath, paralyzed by the terrifying knowledge that more bombs, silent, ticking instruments of death, were still hidden amongst them. In this hour of absolute desperation, hope arrived in the form of a magnificent golden Labrador. But he was not just a dog. He was Zanjeer, the star of the Mumbai Police K9 unit. His name in Hindi meant chain, as if destiny itself had bound him to the cause of justice. With his intelligent amber eyes, Zanjeer was a highly decorated K9 officer, a vital and respected member of the bomb detection and disposal squad. For his human partners, he was not a tool but a trusted comrade. While the city trembled, the steadfast K9 Zanjeer went to work. Guided by his handler, he became a golden streak of purpose against the gray backdrop of chaos. He moved with the focused, solemn grace of a master craftsman, his entire being as a K9, a focused instrument of salvation. He swept through abandoned cars, sniffed at unclaimed luggage, and patrolled marketplaces that were now eerily quiet. And then, he would give the signal. The subtle shift in the K9's posture, the sudden stillness, the decisive sit. It was a communication more powerful than any siren. It was the signal that he had found death, and in doing so, had saved life. What this single K9 officer discovered is nothing short of legendary. The statistics are staggering, but they represent lives, families, and futures that were preserved by his work. He located over 3,329 kilograms of the deadly explosive RDX, enough power to shatter entire city blocks. He pinpointed 600 detonators, the sinister hearts that give bombs their fire. He found 249 hand grenades, and an astonishing 6,406 rounds of live ammunition, an arsenal intended for a massacre. This elite K9 didn't just prevent one more tragedy, he dismantled an entire follow-up campaign of terror. With every discovery, he pushed back against the tide of fear. He was saving thousands of people who would go home that night, completely unaware that their lives had been spared by the keen nose of a quiet, courageous K9. Zanjeer became Mumbai's silent guardian, a heroic K9 symbol of hope when all seemed lost. Years passed, the city began to heal, but it never forgot its hero. But in 2000, Zanjeer faced his final, unbeatable enemy, bone cancer. The decorated K9 veteran, who had faced down bombs without a tremor, finally began to tire. When he passed away, the city he had saved resolved to give him a farewell worthy of his K9 service. Zanjeer was not buried as a pet. He was laid to rest as a K9 officer, a soldier. His body was draped in the Indian tricolor flag. High-ranking police officials laid wreaths upon his casket, and a guard of honor, formed by his human comrades, stood at attention. They raised their hands in a final, solemn salute to their fellow officer, their heroic K9 partner. Zanjeer's life is a timeless testament that heroes come in all forms. His story reminds us that the loudest acts of bravery are often performed in silence, and that sometimes our greatest protectors are our loyal K9 partners. He was Zanjir, the K9 hero who chained himself to duty, and in doing so set a city free.